Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Let me call the meeting to order for the Merrimack Planning Board for Tuesday, March 4th, and begin with our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for joining me. I don't know about you all, but I like the Pledge of Allegiance. I think it's a good thing. Okay. Let's see. We will have Lynn and Nelson both in as voting members tonight, so that we have 6 voting members. Let me remind everyone that we'll address the board to make sure the microphone's turned on. You speak clearly into it, and we also have a new sign-in sheet up on the front desk to sign in so that we can get the correct spelling of your names. Our next planning board meeting after tonight is currently scheduled for March 18th, 2025 at 6:30 p.m. in the Matthew Thornton room, which is this room. That completes our usual housekeeping items for calling to order. And with that in mind, there is a consent agenda with 4 items on it. What say you, board members? Who doesn't count? Oh, hey, Andy.
Sorry for being a minute late there.
He's a town council rep. He can count. Okay. Consent agenda. Is there a motion to adopt the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All right. Motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? So that is now 7-0-0 to adopt the consent agenda. Item 3. Oh my goodness, I'm not going to get this one right. Eric Hemvist as the applicant and Courier Orchards LLC as the owner. Request for approval of a conditional use permit to construct a detached accessory dwelling unit. The parcel is located at 9 Peasley Road in the R3 Residential by Soils District and the Wellhead Protection Area. It's tax map 3B, lot 255-1, and it's case planning board 2025-5. Casey, is there anything that we need to know before we hear from our applicant?
No, just accept that this application already went before the zoning board to allow this ADU to be larger than what is normally allowed, and they did receive that variance.
Thank you, Casey. And I apologize if I mispronounced your name, and I'd love to hear you tell me how to do it correctly.
It's Eric Hamquist.
Hamquist. That's much simpler.
Yes,
Much simpler. Just you got to skip a few of the letters in there.
that's it.
Thank you for that. And whenever you're ready, once you're signed in, tell us about what you're proposing.
Good evening, everyone. My name's Dan Borowski. I'm with Fieldstone Land Consultants. And we're here tonight proposing a detached ADU, so we're seeking a conditional use permit. The lot is the Courier Orchards Farm on Peasley Road in the residential district. So this is a use that's allowed with a conditional use permit that has a few criteria that I can go over if you'd like, but they're in the staff report. So the first criteria for the conditional use permit would be a maximum of 1 ADU per property, and an ADU shall not be permitted where there isn't a primary dwelling unit. So there is 1 primary dwelling unit, and we're proposing the addition of 1 ADU, which will be the only ADU on the lot. The detached ADU shall be located only in the side or rear of the property, so it is set behind where the garage is, so it's to the side of the existing house. The attached ADU shall not exceed 50% of the size of the principal dwelling or 1,000 square feet in size. As Casey mentioned before, we went to the zoning board a couple months ago now and received a variance to have a 1,200 square foot ADU. And the proposed ADU is, I believe, 1,198 square feet. Lots seeking a detached ADU shall be comprised of at least 125% of the minimum lot area. We well exceed that with over 1 million square feet, over 23 acres for the property. It's a big orchard way out back, and then it's, developed up by the street. The detached ADU shall not contain more than 2 bedrooms. We will comply with this. We can supply staff with floor plans, or at the time of pulling a building permit, we can supply the floor plans, but there will not be more than 2 bedrooms in the ADU. The property owner must occupy one of the two dwellings. The property owner occupies the primary dwelling unit. And Mr. Hamquist is proposing to occupy the ADU. One parking space for the ADU shall be provided in addition to any parking for the PDU. So we're proposing to have kind of a little branch off of the driveway to service the ADU, and that should provide plenty of parking for the ADU. Mr. Hamquist agrees to record a restrictive covenant pending the approval of the conditional use permit that prevents him from condoing the ADU. So there's no issue with that stipulation. And we're also agreeing to provide a suitable septic design that will be installed should the primary system fail. But the plan is right now to tie into the existing system, use that until failure, and then implement a design for, both the existing house and the ADU. So if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Thank you for the presentation, Dan. So our course of procedure tonight is a little different because we don't have to make a determination the application's complete for this kind of an application. So it's up to the board to have discussion, a little bit of a public hearing, and then we could make a decision on this. Do the board members have any questions for the applicant? Nelson?
Well, maybe it's too early, but do you have a plan that shows the whole lot? Because this only shows part of the lot that's affected.
We have reference plans that together show the whole lot, but we didn't survey the whole 23 acres for the addition of the ADU. But there are, the two reference plans on there do show the entire lot, and I can provide those for you if you'd like.
Okay, they've been provided to the staff. The staff reviewed the entire lot is what I'm interested in, Casey.
I believe they're recorded in the registry, so
Yeah.
they're public.
Yeah, the only plan that we reviewed was the plan that is in front of you, the one-page plan.
Oh, okay, so you haven't reviewed the whole.
No,
The whole-
we did not see a plan that showed the entire lot with this
Yeah.
conditional use permit.
I just wondered if there are other frontages here, or does it abut
we-
other roads?
We show the plan, we show the whole lot up in the locus, and there is frontage on a Class 6 road, but not on any other Class 5 road. And that's out back behind the orchard that exists on site. So this is this is the extent of the development on the lot.
There's another road then that goes between this property and the property of Shavanda. Is that right?
Yeah, it's on the other side of the Shavanda property. It's kind of.
It's, right, so that's a Class 6 road. I believe I have the reference plan that shows it. That's your eastern boundary. Western boundary is.
Nelson, I think you can see it on the aerial map here, what that other road is. Old Kings Road is a Class 6 road. And it's
Okay,
two properties over from the abutting property.
okay, there's another property in between
Yeah.
that's Shavanda.
Does that help?
I think so.
Obviously, that's not a survey, but that is the boundary that they're showing for the locus as well.
Here's a reference plan survey that we tied into, where it shows our lot right here, and here's that Old King Road, which is a Class 6 after this point. So we don't have any Class 5 frontage on that.
You don't, did you say that again, please? No,
So we don't have any Class 5 frontage on Old Kings Road. That's a Class 6 road.
yes.
And then
You
this,
you do have frontage on it.
But it's a class
Oh,
6, so
correct,
you can't,
right.
it's
We don't have
useless
usable frontage, I
Okay.
suppose.
Okay. Okay, I just couldn't quite figure it from the plan I received, what we had for,
Other, you have
yeah,
other questions, Nelson, or anyone else?
that'd be all for now.
Any members of the public wish to weigh in? Butters? Open the hearing, close the hearing. If there's no other discussion from members of the board, what's the will of the board with respect to final disposition of the application?
I will make a motion that we grant conditional final approval to conditional use permit application, subject to the recommended conditions. Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. I'll start again. I make a motion that we recommend the board grant conditional final approval to the conditional use permit application, subject to the recommended conditions presented in the staff memo dated February 28th, 2025.
Is there a second for Lynn's motion?
I'll second it.
Second. I think you did a great presentation. I support the motion, and I wish that some of these simple things didn't even need our stamp of approval sometimes. With that in mind, all in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstaining? 700. You're all set. Thank you. Okay, next item on our agenda is Jennifer and Hamish Russell and Kyle and Remy Fletcher, applicants and owners, review for acceptance and consideration of a lot line adjustment. The parcels are located at 18 and 20 Captain Bannon Circle in the R4 Residential by Soils District, Tax Map 5B, Lot 9-70 and 9-71. It's case Planning Board 2025-6. Casey, is there anything that we need to know before we hear from the applicant?
No, the applicant can make their presentation.
Excellent, thank you. Once you get a chance to settle in and sign in, introduce yourself and tell us what you're working on. Looks like you got a whole team. Ken? Seems like what you're after is readily apparent. Go ahead and introduce it and explain it. Oh, oops. Actually, it looks like if there was an easement to allow it, then it wasn't a oops, but certainly can fix it with a lot line adjustment.
You all hear me?
I can hear you, but touch the microphone, make that,
Bright green.
there you go.
Okay, is that better?
Yeah.
Okay, so my name's Kevin McClure with Meridian Land Services, and we are here proposing this lot line adjustment as shown on the plan. It's a swap of a 0.04 of an acre parcel with the purpose of eliminating an existing easement to accommodate the driveway for house number 18. I have the new lot line shown in blue. It's a pretty straightforward lot line adjustment. There were, however, a few comments that I addressed today with an updated plan, a few plan comments in the staff report. I can go over those real quick.
Sure, go ahead.
And the updated plan may not have circulated around the planning board yet, so I brought a few copies if you guys want to take a look at them.
We could share.
Thanks. Yeah, we can share. Make sure Casey gets one for the file, or she may already have one for the file.
I did send one.
Okay. Okay.
Maybe we got enough then.
Yeah, we've got enough.
So, the only changes that are on this new plan is, as requested by the Merrimack Village District, I added the water line in for House 20, and it's pretty clear of the new lot line, so no encroachment issues are gonna come up there. I updated the legend as requested to say iron pin with cap to be set instead of just proposed monument. And then I made a small correction in the lot synopsis to correct the resulting area for one of the lots. I think it was lot 70 that I had the area. It was a typo. I had it off by 1/100th of an acre. So I corrected that. Everything else, I took a look at the conditions and it seemed like that was all I needed to address for changes on the plan. So I'm here to answer any further questions that the board has at this time.
Thank you very much. Which one of you is Kayla? Sorry for mispronouncing your name when I read it. It says Kayla. I read it the way they wrote it. Sorry, not my fault. Sorry about that, though. Does the board have any questions that relate to determining that the application is complete? If none, is there a motion to determine the application is complete?
So moved.
Second,
Second.
is all in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? 700, find the application complete. General questions or discussion by members of the board about the application? Nelson?
Question, there's a dotted line that runs around the edge here. Is that intending to show the setback line? And if not, where is the setback lines?
The dotted lines running around the edge of the property, where it's shown 5 feet away from the lot line, that is a building setback. Where the dotted line seems to run further away from the lot line, that is where there's a existing slope and drainage easement to the town. So in those sections, we don't show the 5-foot building setback because the slope and drainage easement is a further restriction than the building
Includes
setback.
not allowing building in
Exactly.
those setbacks.
Yeah, there's a slightly different line weight to those.
Yeah,
Two
there's different
lines,
weights
which
and,
is hard to tell.
and 5 feet, I don't remember 5 feet being the setback. I thought it was larger than that.
This is a cluster subdivision, so cluster subdivisions in our ordinance have a 5-foot structural setback.
Oh, because this is a cluster.
Exactly.
Got it, okay.
Finish that cluster subdivision. Needs the rest of the sentence. Other questions, Nelson?
No, that takes care of me.
Anybody else have questions or comments? And the room's empty, but are there any abutters or citizens who wish to weigh in? Seeing none, we'll kind of move on from that. I don't see any waiver requests
Nope.
that are before us. And so with that in mind, if the board doesn't have any other questions, it would be appropriate to consider final action. What is the will of the board?
I'll move that we grant conditional final approval to the lot line adjustment application, subject to the recommended conditions presented in the staff memo dated February 28th, 2025.
To be fulfilled within 12 months. Is there a second?
Second.
I don't remember which one you spoke
Nelson.
first, I was looking. Nelson, we'll call Nelson the second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? 700 for conditional final approval. You are all set. Thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great night.
Colleen
Thank you.
deferred to him.
Excellent
Oh, no
plan.
problem.
Excellent plan. All right, we are at 5 on our agenda, which is Planning and Zoning Administrators Report and discussion and possible action regarding other items of concern. Casey, is there any Planning and Zoning Administrators Report?
No updates today.
Any board members have any questions for staff about any matter? Does any board member have any discussion of possible action regarding other items of concern? I'll always use my little soapbox here to say we got a couple of empty seats. Come fill them up.
Yes, please.
Come join the board. Come do what we do. It's interesting.
It's only 2 evenings a month, folks. You
And
can do
so
that.
far, it's only been 20 minutes tonight. We're going to be done here in a second. Nice short one. For a minute, it looked like we weren't going to have 4 people. Now we got 7. So it's a party. Okay, that's all I have for discussion items for this week. Item 6 is the approval of the minutes of February 18th, 2025. What say you?
I will move to approve the minutes.
Is there a
Second.
second? All, discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? 700 to approve the minutes. That brings us to a potential motion to adjourn, if someone's so willing.
So moved.
Second?
Karen seconds.
Karen?
Second.
You gotta get in here.
Yeah, gotta get in the game. Motion and second by Karen. All in favor of adjourn, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? 700, we're adjourned. Thank you very much for the work, and don't forget to turn your microphones off.